welcome back to the second episode in our Inktober series, and this is going to be our episode on the prompt Emporium. Now, I have to say, this prompt was genuinely, so hard for me for a couple of reasons. One, because I didn't really know what an Emporium was before I started this, so I had to, Google search it. And apparently, it's a store that's dedicated to kind of, a specific item or a specific, niche type of item. And I was like, I suck at drawing, buildings, so that was not going to be a way to go with this. I tried doing initially a picture because I found out that gaming emporiums existed, so I was going to do some of my characters playing pool or something at what I guess would be a gaming emporium, but I was like, that's so boring. It was just boring, and also I'm not that good at dynamic poses. So instead, I did some research into what types of emporium are pretty common, and I found out that there are butterfly emporiums, and I was like, I could totally do something with this because butterflies, great. That's the sort of magical, mystical vibe I'm going for. So I decided for this one to go with my character Kira, aka Biohazard, who has a bunch of videos on my channel, but I wanted to take this as some time to talk about her because she's genuinely one of my favorite OCs because, one, I don't really know the direction her story is going, which is amazing because I play her in a tabletop role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons & Dragons, but not Dungeons & Dragons. It's a DC tabletop game, and she is a villain turned hero, essentially, which is one of my favorite ploys to play in anything. Essentially, to make her long story very short, is basically the game that my GM runs is kind of a post-apocalyptic, post-war world that we're living in, and Kira, this character, was made to essentially be a weapon used in this war by a bunch of DC villains, and was kind of discontinued because the war stopped before her development was finished. And she's a really, I want to say deep character. Because she struggles with, the reality of what it's living when you have had a purpose, but that purpose no longer exists. And she's essentially was, put into a young adult body with, no development. She has a symbiote that she can control. You could think of, the symbiote used by, for Venom, but way less intelligent. Her symbiote is not intelligent, but it could do a lot of those kind of things, where it's not really an intelligent creature, but it's kind of that goopy black ink textured kind of stuff. And she has a lot of cool powers. She has elemental control powers, which are her own powers, but she also struggles with the fact that she doesn't know what DNA she was made from, and was under the assumption that she probably just had a couple DNA donors that gave her powers, and then she has this symbiote, and that's what she is. But she's kind of, as my GM does more in the game, he gives her a lot of other characters that she's connected to, and just so much more that is just so exciting to play. And I love making content about her. I've made content about her already on this channel, and it's literally just, she's such a fun character because she struggles with her own sense of reality and kind of realizing who she is as a person, who is Kira Ray and not who is this weapon, because she sees herself as a product of someone else's work. And I think it's a really in-depth character that I enjoy getting to act out, essentially, and I have so many ideas for stories for hers. But yeah, so the reason I kind of went with butterflies and associated them with her is because a butterfly kind of represents metamorphosis and changing as a person. And Kira as a character is essentially that. She's going through being one thing and realizing that she could be so much more, and kind of going through her metamorphosis of becoming a hero and what does that mean for her as a character, and everything like that. So I think it's super cool. I kind of wanted to make it look like it was maybe in some sort of magic shop or like plant shop or something. I'm not good at backgrounds, so, you know, I did my best with the sketch of the background. But yeah, I think it's giving kind of the same as the first picture. I'm not gonna lie, they look very similar in the pose I chose. That was complete coincidence, but it just worked out that way. I probably could have like flipped the image so at least it looks kind of different, but oh well. I really do like the lighting I did for this one. The actual like little butterflies were kind of fun to draw. I wanted to make them kind of see-through like the butterflies from Steven Universe. If anybody knows those, specifically in the song, oh my gosh, what's the name of the song? It's the one that goes like, take a moment to think of just flexibility, love, here comes a thought. That's the name of the song. Oh my gosh. So I tried to make them look like the butterflies from Here Comes a Thought a little bit, because I like what they represent in that song of like kind of being like the thoughts that are flying around someone's head, and it just felt so magical and whimsical, so I wanted to give them like a little glowy effect and have them kind of like reflecting off her eyes as if she's like seeing them, and it's like doing something for her soul or whatever, I don't know, like making her feel something. And so yeah, I love that I got to do that with the picture. Also, it kind of does fit in the world. The world we play in is DC, like, but we're kind of, there's a lot of magic in DC that my DM loves to touch on. The arc in the game that we are playing right now is pretty, I would say, magic heavy. We've touched on like demons and like Cthulhu and different magic shiz that you would think would be in D&D, but it's V&V, which is so similar in name, but totally different in concept. But yeah, I mean, I think the whole magic, whimsical kind of thing goes really well with where we are in our game, so I think it works great. If you do want to see more about Kira, I do have a playlist about her. I think it's called Biohazard or Kira Ray playlist. She is technically related to Bruce Wayne in like a weird sort of DNA stolen and put into the character kind of thing. I let my GM choose who I was related to. That was my bad because he has made my background insane. But yeah, I mean, it's a really fun character. And I think I want to do more content on her, so it's nice that I got to kind of work on this, especially because I got to do some fun stuff with her eyes. Kira is like can shapeshift because of her symbiote. Her body is not solid. It's very like it can be solid, and it is solid most of the time. But if you know the character Ink from like Batman the Animated Series, like the sequel series, I don't remember the name of the sequel series. I think it's Batman Returns, if I'm not mistaken. But if you know the character Ink, I-N-Q-U-E, is spelled kind of funny. She has this sort of like shifting ink body, and Kira, because of her symbiote, can do pretty much like the same thing. Kind of again like similar to Venom on how it like goops around and is very fluid in nature. Yeah, she's called Biohazard because she was meant to be a bioweapon, and her body is also very toxic to people. She can like secrete different poisons that she has ingested and like rematerialized, and she can like breathe it, like can like breathe, poisons out, and like she also just like can mess with the elements in a person's body to like, give them a fever or like make their blood vessels explode. It's just, yeah, it's a very fun, a little gory of a character, but honestly, she uses her power less and her brain more, which is cool. Yeah, I love playing her. She's a little cynic. She's very cynical. Kind of gives angsty teen energy because, like, she woke up in a test tube at the age of, like, 18 or, like, 19-ish, maybe 20. I'd put her roughly at 20. And is just kind of, like, angsty as hell and, like, I was supposed to be a weapon, and now some superheroes are saying we need to save the world. This is weird. Yeah. If you like this little chat, if you want to continue hearing me talk about characters, if you're enjoying, my speed paints and everything, please drop a like, a follow, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Commenting and liking helps my content so much. So if you are willing to drop a comment, tell me if you like this video, if you hated this video, tell me your favorite song. Tell me what I should do for the next prompt, because we do have a prompt coming up. I forgot what the next prompt was. You know what? I'm gonna check. The next prompt is, hold on, let's see. I told you, this is just me rambling. That's what these videos are now. The next prompt is whispers. So if you would like to comment for tomorrow's prompt, let me know. Also gonna say that these Inktober videos are coming out like the day after I draw them, or like one day later, essentially. So yeah. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. This has been Mama Putty Cat, and sorry this one was a little longer than the previous one, but I like to ramble. We all know this. Okay. Bye-bye.